What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? This is the Black Gay Agenda. This is episode 18, y'all. We only got two more after
What?
this. Only, can you believe it? We
I
listen.
can't.
We've been through so much this season, but we're still
Yeah.
here. Shout out to Tisha Campbell, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Dupree. Dupree is not with us tonight. He's dealing with some other things, so he'll be back for the season finale next week. So y'all know, AP is going to be traveling.
Mm.
I'm going to be traveling to Atlanta. So we have one final episode that's in the vault. One of our in studio episodes, the wild card
Yes.
agenda. So we'll be releasing that to y'all next week. So don't fret. And then episode 20 will come out on September the 11th, actually.
Rest
And
in peace.
yep. And that will be it for this season, season 5. I mean season 4. I'm sorry, season 4. But anyways, we're gonna get into the things. Okay, we're gonna get into the things. But before we do, how are you, AP?
How the fuck am I today? It was a slow burn type of day. Like, I don't even know how I got here. I don't know how I'm alive. But grateful to be alive though. But yeah, today wasn't it felt like the case of Monday blues. How about you?
Um, Once again, it's been kind of like the trend of the past couple of weeks. Is my answer has been overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Um, and that's still a thing. I'm like 7 days out, so this time next week, I'll be like in Atlanta and not visiting, but like starting my new journey of living in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta. So just navigating that, navigating the emotions of being sad. I'm happy. I'm excited for this new opportunity, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm also incredibly sad because I'm leaving family. Well, I'm leaving friends. No, I'm leaving family. I'm leaving friends. I'm leaving everything that I know for to go to the unknown. So, and
Yeah.
then plus, we're in full production mode for season, the new season of tonight's conversation. 42 cities
Yes.
we about to hit. So I got a new role with them. I'll talk about that later. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so yeah, it's a lot of moving pieces, but I count it all joy. I count it all
Amen.
joy. Okay. So yeah, it's gonna be a heavier topic tonight. But we're gonna still make sure y'all ain't over there boo-hooing and whatnot, crawling, sliding down the wall. Because I do feel like to get to a place of joy, you have to unpack some of that baggage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta leave some of that baggage. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. And this is
Mm-hmm.
the baggage agenda. All right, so first we are gonna do an icebreaker, all right? This is called carry on or checked bag, okay? Carry on means everyone has a little baggage. That's manageable, right? Everybody
Right.
got a little baggage that's manageable. Now the check bag, that's some heavy shit, okay?
Uh-huh.
That's some heavy shit and you might need to deal with it. You got it?
I got it.
All right. So, and I want the audience to y'all play with us as well. Okay. So first off, you need more reassurance than most people because you've been abandoned before. Is that a carry on or is that a check bag?
That's a carry on. That's a carry
Hmm.
on. That's part of your life, your upbringing. So
Yes.
I'm gonna support that. I'm gonna support that.
Listen, I'm gonna support it too, and that's how we deal with people, knowing what they deal with, what they carry,
Exactly.
so we can. So that right there, I'm gonna say agree with you. A carry on. Two, yeah, yeah. Okay. Your partner has never given you a reason not to trust them, but you still need their location shared.
Need.
Carry on, or a
Oh,
checked.
that's checked. That's check bag right there for me.
So, do you and your partner? I'm single, so
Uh-huh.
do you and your partner share locations?
No.
Oh,
Cause I'm like, you live your life. Like what why do I need to know where you at? I feel like when trying to digest and get into a relationship and find your
mm-hmm.
own flows,
Yeah.
I think maybe the status quo is to kind of like share the location because you're in love, it makes sense, your partners, but not over here. We do our own thing. Your best friends got your location, so if something happens, they can handle that. And I just think it's a nice way of like still having your own independence without having to like overly check in with somebody. But that's just me.
So, man, you just give me heat week after week, AP.
I'm just saying.
So, wait. So your best friends have your location, but your
Yes.
partner doesn't have your location.
Because we just probably aren't at that place yet.
How
in
long
my
have y'all been
opinion.
together?
A year and a half.
Okay, that's interesting.
I I just don't need it. I don't need his,
Okay,
if he
you're
wanted
sec-
to do that.
you're secure.
Yeah.
Are you open
Mhm.
for the conversation of sharing locations?
Yes, I would. And if he wanted to and like gave good reasoning behind it, like something that I'm not even considering or thinking about, I'll be like, okay, yeah, sure. But
Okay,
as far as now, I'm like, we don't need to.
so for you, that's a check bag.
That's a check bag because like I feel like you got some underlying trust issues that
Yeah.
that's gonna be that's just the location. Next thing you know, it's gonna be you didn't say goodnight last night. What were you doing last? You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
How many
But that
times do
be
I
a
gotta check
thing.
in? It do.
That be a thing. Some men will because
It
that's
do.
why it's checked bags then.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people will be like good night, babe, or I love you as they're
Mm-hmm.
getting like their cheeks clapped. You've seen those
You
memes
have.
before.
Oh my God, you're so right.
I miss you so much, babe. I miss you so much. And you just
Oh
get
my
knocked
Lord
the
Jesus.
sonic rings just knocked out of you.
Well, that would never be us. That would me and
Amen.
my man over here. So
Y'all good. No, but okay, that makes sense. I would say that I say it's a check bag, and I think,
yeah,
yeah, I think it's a check bag. But I get it. But I get it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I get it. I get it. Okay, next. You don't ask people for help because you've learned that depending on people leads to disappointment. Before you even go, I'm gonna say that's a check bag, and you gotta unpack. And
Really?
yes, and I'm speaking for somebody who that used to be me. That
Yeah,
I used to be that person. Oh, I don't want to share anything because nobody cares. I don't want to share anything because this, that, or the third. And when you do that, you remove the opportunity for other people to pour into you like you pour into
fair.
others. It's always like, oh, no one checks on the strong friend, no one does
It's
this, no
true.
one does that.
It's
And we
true.
hear that all the time, right?
Me
But
too.
a lot
Me
of
too.
times the strong friend doesn't speak up, and the strong friend, and I speak from experience, the strong friend
Hmm.
continues to just be silent and struggle and suffer silently because they think nobody would care because this person didn't care. But there's somebody out there who cares about you. There's somebody out there who loves you. There's somebody out there who wants to support you, but you have to give them an opportunity to do that. And that's the reason why I say it's a checked bag.
I'm hearing that, and I almost want to agrees, but I
Okay.
don't necessarily
Okay.
because it's giving a carry on. It's giving a backpack. Like you can
Okay.
you're gonna have to sift through it just a little bit, and maybe
Okay.
because I see a little bit of myself in that.
Mm-hmm.
I and girl, every time I feel like I'm gonna bring up therapy every time on this damn podcast.
As you
I
should.
was
We are
just
therapized.
Exactly. I was just talking to my therapist, and I was like, that's why I love having a romantic partner because I feel like I'm hyper independent. And so
Mm.
maybe going back to the sharing the location thing, but this I don't like asking for help because I never had it growing up, and I'm learning how to be more like open to receiving and having people do that. But I don't feel like I got to do a lot of work to overcome that. It's just I like things my way because I think I'm going to get it done the most efficient way.
Okay.
So it's a carry on for me, and I
Okay.
hope he agrees.
Okay, look, I'm glad we had our first, this not a disagreement, but
Uh huh.
different opinions on it. Okay. Last but certainly not least, okay? When
Hmm.
conflict happens, your first instinct is to leave before someone gets the chance to leave you. Is that a
Girl,
carry-on or a check bag?
girl, that's check bag.
Okay.
Go on and leave. Then I'm gonna leave it at that. Just go and head out.
No,
Heck,
I agree. That is a definitely a check bag because like as adults we're supposed to talk through our issues and
exact.
problem solve. And now you can take time to collect your thoughts, whether it's with a friend, whether it's with a business partner, whether it's with a romantic interest. Take the time and separate to collect thoughts, but to just leave and be like, I'm done with this relationship, I'm done with this
Hmm.
person, like, baby, check that bag.
Check that bag, please.
Check that bag. All right, y'all. This has been our icebreaker, carry on, or check bag. All right. Let us know in the comments. What are you carrying on? What are you checking? Okay. Let us know that. We are going to take a really quick break and push our 4440 campaign, and we will
Hmm.
be back after this. Pushers, we've got a goal for season 5. We want the entire season in the studio. That's why we've launched our 40 for 40 challenge. We're asking 40 pushers to give $40 to help us make that transition and bring you a bigger, better, fully in studio season of the Black Gay Agenda. Every $40 gets us one step closer. Now, if you can't give 40, we'll take 4, we'll take 14, we'll take whatever you can, even your word of mouth. Go ahead and share this. So if you believe in what we're building, push with us. Donate today through Cash App at Black Gay Agenda or PayPal at paypal.me/Black Gay Agenda. 40 pushers, $40. Let's get season 5 in the studio. Welcome back to the Black Gay Agenda. Make sure that you rate, review, comment, like, subscribe, all of the things. All right, all of the things. We're gonna get right into this. This is the baggage agenda. All right, this is the baggage agenda. So first off, we're gonna say what's in your bag. Okay, what's in your bag now? AP. And we're just
Yes.
gonna talk. It's just me and you tonight, right? So we
It's
just
just me
talking,
and
okay?
you. It's just
We
me and you.
just me and you.
Uh-huh.
No, I've been waiting. If I wanna make a move now. Man, I love. Shout out to Cassie, right? Shout out to Cassie. Okay, here we go. When you hear baggage, what part of your life?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, we're immediately getting
Right.
into it.
What
When
part?
you hear baggage, what part of your life comes to mind?
Oh, that's good. That's a good question. Cause it's like I was thinking about this topic today. I was like, what
Hmm.
fucking part does come to mind? And I think more so maybe my early 20s comes to mind immediately because I feel like that's when I was doing the most work. That's when I got a fucking therapist. And I don't know about y'all have heard me probably say this on multiple episodes. I have some family issues up in here, up in here. So when I was trying to sort that out, I'm like, damn, I'm coming into these relationships with my familial issues. I mean, even
Hmm.
a current example, not current, but when I was dating my current partner, we something that used to rub me the wrong way is his mom, not in a negative way, but his
Yeah.
mom is so overly involved. She's the type of mom that would bake cookies and sign up to be on a PTA and chaperone a field trip. And even at his age of 30, I can still see how she plays a role like that. And for
Okay.
me, I just didn't have that, so I
Yeah.
will always hang out with them or something. I'd be like, damn, like, I really wish my mom was like just a more involved mom, or when I find out lessons or their stories, like she went on all the college campus trips. Like I remember doing my whole college shit by myself,
Oh
so
wow.
it's just that's some baggage that I had to address because I had talked to my therapist. I was like, girl, like I don't know, like I kind of be avoiding the mom because I think about my own mom. So I think of me working through my mom's in relationship. That's what I feel. That
Okay.
yeah.
Mother issues.
Yes.
Mommy
Yes.
mommy issues.
Mommy.
Okay.
How about
So
you?
I'll raise your mommy issues, right?
Uh-huh.
With daddy issues.
Okay.
um and I think so my bag is like, like when you get there, you get to the thing and you put your suitcase on the scale, and then they be
Hmm.
like, you 20 pounds over, you gotta pay
Hmm.
$100 extra now, right?
Hmm.
That's my bag right there. And it's my issue and my whole entire relationship with my father. It has
Yeah.
been tumultuous,
Yeah.
and it's been something that up until even up until recently. And I had a very important conversation with my older sister today, and she's
Hmm.
been in this space forever, and my younger sister has been in this space forever, and I was the last one just holding out
Hmm.
hope.
Yeah.
Um and I finally said, hey, I think I might have to go no contact for a while.
Mm.
um and it sucks because it's like this is the only living parent that I have, so I don't want to
Yeah.
go non-contact. But at the
Yeah.
same time, something my therapist and I have been talking about is, and my thing was always, I don't want to make that break because it is the only parent that I have. But
Yep.
at the same time, I've already mourned that relationship. I've
Hmm.
mourned the relationship that I know that I'm never going to have already.
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
just a matter of And even if something does happen to him, whenever it happens, that's going to be a different type of mourning. But I've
Right.
already mourned what I want, but I know that
Yeah.
I'm never going to have with him. So I would
Hmm.
say that's the biggest baggage that comes to mind, because
Hmm.
that has literally affected. And I'll get into the next question. I'll say my kind of just transition into the next question, like, because the next question is talking about what experiences from our past affect how we deal with people today. And just
Hmm.
me feeling like I had to prove something to him, feeling that I had to get delivered, feeling like
Hmm.
I had to do all of these things, affected how I dealt with the people who were in my life, who I wanted, who could have been potential partners, husbands,
Hmm.
boyfriends, whatever, whatever,
Hmm.
whatever, whatever, right? Because I was living for the approval of him instead of just living for me,
Hmm.
living so I could be happy and I could find some joy. And I'm grown and mature enough to say that I hurt people along the way,
Ooh.
being emotionally unavailable. But I was
Yeah.
emotionally unavailable because I didn't feel like I could be open and free and still have this relationship. And now here we are, and it's like, damn, I wasted all that time because for what?
Hmm.
For what? So yeah. So I guess I wanted to ask you as well. Was there any experiences in your past that has kind of shaped how you deal with others?
You know what's so interesting? As we're having this conversation, it's like you think you're gonna know what you're gonna say, and then
Hmm.
something completely shifts.
Something comes to your
I
mind. Yeah.
exact. I was dating this one guy, and he told a story. He was like, I got so drunk this one time, and I ended up doing some fucked up shit, and I crashed into this glass table and all this and all of that. And I was like, well, I
Mm.
will never date him again. And I talked to my friend. I was like, yeah, so this is what he was saying, and this is how I felt about it. And she was like, you don't think you are taking that a bit too serious? And I was like, no, like my dad, how I view my dad, and it's unfortunate, and I love him down now, but how I view my dad is like a functioning alcoholic. So
Mm.
whenever like someone seems to, I don't know, drink, even like fucking casually, like if I think it just sends like signals to my brain to like abort mission, get out of here. What if
Hmm.
they end up like your dad? What if they become like a functioning alcoholic? You don't want to have to deal with that. And then I do kind of consider it hypocritical because I've had nights where perhaps I'm not fucking busting through a glass table and being crazy, but nights that I've forgotten where I damn near blacked out. But
You busting that pussy open though.
exactly. But I'm like, oh, but people, I'm like, how's your relationship with alcohol? Like that used to
Mm.
matter to me so much when it came to dating because I would just think,
Oh,
dad.
that's a
Hmm.
clarifying. That's a question that you ask.
What you mean? Oh, what
Like
is your
when you were
relationship to
dating. Yeah, yeah,
alcohol?
yeah, 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 yeah.
I would honestly just wait to catch them. And
Okay.
I think that's also fucked up. Like
Yeah, because
I'm
they're
like
grown
afraid to
adults.
confront it. Yeah, so I'm like, oh, is that like me being afraid to confront my own dad and the alcohol, his
Ooh.
use, or am I just like kind of waiting around to see like I want them to reveal their true selves? So that's interesting. Thank you for pulling that out of me because I kind of forgot about that little time period.
Listen, I'm good to pull out every once in a while. You feel me?
Okay. Oh, every
Yeah,
once in a while.
every once in a while. It
Yes,
depends.
it
It
does.
depends. It depends.
It
You
does.
can't give it to everybody.
It does.
Okay, you give it to some people, then they get crazy. What are we talking about? Okay, so here we go. All right, that's good. Actually, I think this is a little. I think we got a nice little framework for the conversation. I
Hmm.
think we can go ahead and pivot, and I know you have some things that you kind of want to talk about.
I do. I
Okay.
do. Hold on. Before we move any further,
Uh oh.
I wanted to say this. This is not controversial, but
Okay.
I need our pushers to make sure they're watching us on YouTube because
Yes.
I especially got dressed for you all today, considering how y'all dragged me. And I
Woo.
want y'all to know I've had a change of heart and I will be playing sports every day of my life. I will watch everything. And I even went out to buy a jersey for you all. So thank you for telling
Yes.
me how to live. I love
Yes.
you.
Yo, they were on your
They
ass.
were. They were. They
That's
were.
one of the worst beatings that I've seen in four
What's that?
seasons. I'm not gonna lie. In four
It was
seasons,
bad.
I was like, oh my God, but you took it in stride. But like,
Of
oh my
course.
God, they were so angry.
They were. They were. I felt famous for 2 seconds. I'm like, is this what I'm like when I see a 10-second clip of somebody I don't agree with? I think this person should die. Perhaps.
Right. They're like,
You
this
know,
is why y'all need to put the mics away, put the
I
mics away. And
know.
like, but what was crazy though, now maybe this is, and we'll go right to you after this. But
Uh-huh.
what was crazy though is a lot of the people who were dragging you last week, a lot
Hmm.
of the people who were saying like, "Oh, this guy's shut his fat mouth up," and like all these crazy things, right? They're not
Hmm.
real sports fans. Because a
Hmm.
lot of those comments was like, oh, I watch because men can watch sports, but then they were like, oh, I watch because the men are sexy. Oh, I watch because I like to see fat asses. Oh, I watch because so then I was like, this is interesting
Hmm.
because you're not this doesn't what he's saying maybe not even like directed towards you because the only reason
Right.
why you're not obsessed, the only reason why you're not a real sports fan because the only reason
Hmm.
why you even watch is because you get horny watching the men on the court and
Hmm.
then on the
You rub
field.
that
It just
clit.
yeah, you remember that little pussy, get that pussy wet. But yeah, that was fun. It was whew. But you took it
Yeah.
right. You took it well.
I appreciate. I love a good dragon god. Did y'all make me consider some things? No. However, I will get my thought process together for next time because I said,
Yes.
damn, I'm stumbling on words and shit.
And we
Anywho,
also one more thing, we don't just say shit. Like this is
right,
not a place where we just saying shit to get for clickbait and to
right.
get views or whatever. So stop that shit, right? Also, if you
Hmm.
don't agree with something or if somebody has an opinion, there's a difference between an opinion and a think piece. I want y'all to
Right.
really understand that because
So true.
y'all have been killing me. Y'all niggas learn new words, right? Y'all learn new words and y'all wear the words out and you don't say them right. A couple years
Hmm.
ago, y'all was calling everybody was a narcissist who was
Hmm. So
gaslighting
true.
you,
So
right?
true.
A couple of years ago, everybody was a plant, an industry plant, right?
Right.
And now, if anybody like has any opinion of something, it's like, oh, we don't need these thing pieces. We don't need these thing pieces. Like, are y'all okay?
I said the same thing. That's good. That's good. Oh, you ate that.
Okay, that's all I
You
got.
ate that. All right. You know what? Let's take it back to the baggage. We don't want to
Yes,
carry that baggage from last episode
come on.
into the new one. Um, so I like to call this segment like you ain't them,
Oh,
just like you
okay.
ain't some of y'all painters. But anywho, question for you, Micah. Have you ever reacted to someone based on something an ex, a friend, or family member did?
Yes. Yes, 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 yes,
Mm,
yes. And I mean we talk about dating all the time.
me
So
too.
I'm not gonna go from that vantage point. But I'm a person who's very giving, right? I give
Mm-hmm.
my time, I give my intellect, I give my empathy, I give my emotions, I give my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Because I genuinely want to see people win, you know?
Yes.
Especially if you're in this field of like creatives
Mm-hmm.
and business people and entrepreneurs. I'm always trying to pour into others. And sometimes those people who I've gone above and beyond for
Mm-hmm.
and given everything to them in return gave me their ass to kiss, right? And then accused me of things that just not in my character.
Mm-hmm.
Um, accused me of being shady towards them, accused me of withholding things and opportunities, and accused me of gatekeeping when everything that I've ever done for certain people have been to help them and want to see them do better and be more. And for a while, there was an incident that happened that really fucked me up because it's like I
Mm-hmm.
went above and beyond to try to, you know, put niggas on.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like I felt betrayed, I felt hurt, I felt unappreciated, right? And I felt like my character was being assassinated. So yeah, when a similar thing recently happened with somebody else that I'm connected to, initially I was very short with them, right? Very
Mm-hmm.
snippy, very short with them. I was like, don't worry about it, right? And that wasn't the right thing for me to do, but it triggered me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It triggered me and it made me feel like, oh, I'm being unappreciated again. I'm being, this person playing in my face. Like everybody keeps playing in my face, and I'm just trying to help people out. But then I
Mm-hmm.
took time. I sat with myself. I said, "Hold on," and I was able to identify. Oh, I feel like this because of this. This has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with this person in front of me. This has to do with somebody else. Somebody else is somebody else. So it's easy to do that, and I think we just got to be more mindful about when we see these triggers, being able to identify them, assess them, and then move in a way that we're not lashing out on other people for things that they had no control over and that they didn't do.
Oh, y'all go write that down. You was talking a little bit with the triggers,
Yeah.
because I think essentially that is kind of what we are speaking to.
Mm-hmm.
How are people triggering us from past situations, and how do we need to respond differently?
Yeah.
And when I think about this, I think maybe because I'm in a relationship, like everything, I'll be like, it's always going to come back because that's where I spend most of my time. That's where I'm
Yeah.
thinking the most. And something that my therapist, many motherfuckers have had to remind me is sometimes I don't take people's word at face value. So
Mm.
they'll say, no, nothing's wrong. And in the past, maybe I'll say an ex would say nothing's wrong, but then like the next time we got into an argument, it was a laundry list of things that went unspoken. So more
Yes.
recently in my current relationship, he'd say, "Oh, nothing's wrong, everything's this or everything's that." And something that I've tried to do in the past is like say, "Oh no, you may say this, but I know you mean this." Trying to tell somebody else what they think and what they mean. Who the
Okay.
fuck am I? Who the fuck do I think
Yes.
I am? So that's something I don't want to say consistently have to check, but that's something that was a running theme with a lot of people that I dated in the past, like leading up to this current relationship. It was like, oh yeah, you may say this, but I know what you truly mean. I know what you really
Oh
want to do.
goodness.
And I'm like, I call the lady. I had to call the lady. So that's something I had to really work through.
It's nothing worse than being told that there's something wrong or that you have an attitude, especially that you
Hmm.
have an attitude when you literally don't have an attitude
Right, right.
or there's nothing wrong. Because that's a good way for me to then, oh, I have an attitude now.
No, I do.
Yeah, no, I
That you've
do. But no,
caused.
that's real. I feel that. I feel that.
I have a bomb question,
Okay.
and I'm excited to hear what you think about
Okay.
this.
I
How
have
do
some
you?
bomb. Never
Oh,
go.
well.
Go.
How do you distinguish intuition from being triggered by an old experience?
I don't know.
Okay,
You probably thought I was gonna have like this deep answer.
I
I don't
did.
know.
I
I don't
did.
know, and it's something that I kind of have to sit with.
Hmm.
Same thing was like, is it discernment or you just not trust people?
Yeah.
Um, and I would say that a lot of this stuff, due to past traumas, due to past things, is probably leaning
Hmm.
more on the side of trauma base
Yeah.
rather than. So I am, y'all know I'm a recovering crash out, of course, but I also in the past I've had a very anxious attachment style.
Hmm.
And then some things that I would think was intuition, it wasn't intuition, nigga. You just got an anxious attachment style. So if somebody's not responding, my head, because I have been cheated on before, my head
Hmm.
goes to they getting their cheeks clapped or they
Hmm.
clapping somebody's cheeks while I'm over
Hmm.
here wondering why I haven't heard from you all day. You know?
Hmm.
So I don't
Hmm.
have an answer to that. I wish I
Okay.
did, but I don't. But maybe you can help me out.
You know what? I don't, but what do you
Okay.
think about is like intuition the same thing as a gut feeling? Do you
I
associate
think it's
that?
intuition and discernment are very similar.
Okay.
For me, because now I don't know. I think intuition, people just be they be paranoid, right?
Yeah.
Discernment for me, my discernment be kicking in usually when I'm around different, like around people. First meet somebody, like I could tell, like,
Oh, it's the way.
mm,
Yeah.
I don't know about that one, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with that one. I don't know about her friend. I don't know about her friend. I think that
Yeah.
that's not the one. Shit like that, right? But intuition, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know because I know like sometimes it's hard for me to be like, is this something that really going on, or is this just like me projected?
Right. I'm really trying to think of when I trust my intuition ever. And I think similar to what you said, it's always easier to trust intuition or that gut feeling when it's
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily a romantic partner, but like
Yes.
friends or like opportunities or
Opportunities, especially. I don't know if this is a good
yeah,
opportunity for me. If it seems a little,
exactly.
yes, yes. But
It's always easier that
relationships,
way.
oh yeah, in relationships is tough. Like especially romantic relationships,
Hmm.
it's like, is this me being paranoid, or is this
Yeah.
real? But
I'm gonna sit on that.
I need to sit on it, yeah, because
Oh, we can both sit on it. All
I
right.
wanna sit on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because but then there's also been times where I probably had intuition or discernment
Mm,
and I didn't heed, right? You ever know like you get a feeling and you're like, I probably shouldn't entertain this young man, right? I should have,
girl. Yeah.
I should have
Always.
entertained him, and then you entertain him, and then the very thing that you said that you shouldn't entertain him because of it manifests. So I don't know. I need more time with that one.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm literally trying to actively think and then think about the next question.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's the next question. Since
Okay.
we're on the topic of baggage, is it fair to expect someone new to be patient with baggage they didn't create?
Um, it's not fair,
Yeah.
but it's expected. And what I say is this, and this is why I say it's not fair,
Mm.
but it's expected. We all
Sorry,
carry
boss. Okay.
baggage, right? We all
Mm-hmm.
carry baggage one way or the other. And if this is somebody you're trying to build with, to be able to effectively build with this
Right.
person, you need to be able to help them navigate. It doesn't mean that you have to carry their bags for them, right?
Right.
But you have to be able to help them navigate how to carry those bags, where to take those bags, which bags to unpack, which bags to leave, which bags to bring as carry-ons, right?
Mm-hmm.
None of us are perfect. We all come to relationships with shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we gotta, if we really trying to lock in with this person and we want this person to be our person, we have to know, because if I know what you carry, then that's how I know to speak to you,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you came from an abusive family growing up, whatever, 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 I have to be extra mindful. Now, you shouldn't be raising your voice at grown people, anyways. But at the
Right.
same time, in the midst of an argument, like if you were told you ain't shit, you ain't never gonna be shit,
Mm-hmm.
blah 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 blah, I have to make sure that I don't say anything that's hurtful, right? I don't use my tongue to weaponize my words against you, because that's baggage that you carried into the relationship. Now, I don't think you should force somebody to carry your shit and
Right.
make them pay for the things that somebody else did to you and punish them
Mm-hmm.
for doing something. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we should come into relationships knowing this person that I'm trying to be with probably has something that they carry with them. So I have to learn how I fit in and how I can make that process easier for them.
Okay, first of all, you spoke because you got me up here thinking I'm like trying to acknowledge it in my own
Yeah.
relationship in real time. And you know, this is for everybody that's single out here. People always want to get into a relationship, but the part that you were just speaking about, that is the work. You say it's not
Mm-hmm.
fair, but it is expected. You have to do the work with dealing with not just your own baggage, but the baggage of your partner. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes I do not feel like doing that. And I'd be like, well, damn, is this relationship worth it to me? Obviously, yes, it is. So I'm gonna have to continue to keep showing up. And sometimes I do think I'm like, this is not fair. Like I've got my own things I need to figure out. But when you do love your partner and you do see something long lasting, mean, shit, like I gotta hand me your
Yeah.
carry on, hand me that check luggage because I'm in it for the long haul. So,
Yeah.
something that people are not talking about is the partner's baggage, and just you kind of just
Hmm.
gotta hold on to it like it's yours almost to a certain degree. To a certain
For
degree.
for example, some of the baggage that I know that I bring into relationships is parental wounds, right?
Hey, there it is.
Um, Mom died when I was 14. Me and
Mm-hmm.
my dad don't have the best relationships. So how
Mm-hmm.
does that manifest? How does those parental moves manifest? I am not a big holiday person, right?
Oh,
My
okay.
big holidays are my big holidays is like Juneteenth, right?
Uh-huh.
My big holiday is like Halloween, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like the family holidays,
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, they're tough for me. And the reason why like the family holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas are tough is because, like I said, my mom died at 14, so that really changed the trajectory of what our holidays look like. And then
Yeah.
me and my father's relationship is like, you're when you're they say in words that you're welcome to come home for the
Mm-hmm.
holidays,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not welcome in action. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Somebody can say in
Mm-hmm.
words that you're welcome, but then their actions show something else. So like holidays, I don't like going to their house because it just I feel like I don't belong there. I feel like I'm an
Mm-hmm.
alien, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know whenever I'm with a partner, my partner, if they're big on Christmas, if they're big on Thanksgiving, that's going to be something for me that I'm going to have to navigate. I hope they give me the space and the grace to like figure that out with them, right? Because I would literally only be doing Christmas, Thanksgiving for them. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, it's not a big thing. So that's kind of how those things manifest. People think it's always just, oh, somebody cheated on me. No, it can go a lot
Yeah.
deeper. It could go a lot deeper.
You really put that into perspective for me. Wow. As
Yeah.
someone on the other side, well, fuck my family too. But
The
I
family fucked
mean,
your husband.
but I still do hold a lot of weight into holidays. Maybe not as much as the average person from a different type of household, but
Hmm.
like there is still privilege in like family community, especially around the holiday season and like what that means on the inside. So I'm just thinking about that. I'm like, damn. Well, how do you usually celebrate your holidays then? What do you do?
Um, Nothing. Drink.
Nothing. Not even like the Friendsgiving and shit.
But like I don't do that on Thanksgiving, but like I'll go to
Okay.
Friendsgivings.
Mm,
Christmas. Now I'm so that's the crazy thing. I love the season of Christmas. I just
right.
don't partake in like going home and all of that. But I love the joy of Christmas. I love Christmas movies. Like I
Mm-hmm.
do all of that shit. I love the ugly Christmas sweaters. But like as far as like on the day of these holidays, I hate to say it, they're
Mm-hmm.
actually pretty low. they're actually pretty
Yeah.
low. They're actually pretty lonely. But I just push through,
Yeah.
watch I know you hate it, but like Christmas, I always watch all of the basketball games all day long. I'm watching I'm watching all the basketball
Uh-huh.
games on Christmas and yeah,
Okay. My
that's
next
how I
follow up
navigate it.
question.
Okay.
I'm because now
Whew.
I know we're talking
This
about
feels
that, but
like
like
this feels like therapy, yo.
I know because I'm now I'm into the holiday shit. I'm going with the
Yeah.
flow with the conversation. So, damn, what did my oh? Don't you know how like say we haven't had the best experiences growing up, and for example, you could say we could use the holiday seasons
Yeah.
for your example. Is
Yeah.
there a way when you have your own family, like do you ever envision, oh, like when I get a child, when I get a partner, I want to start this tradition with holidays, or have you not even thought that far, or what do you think?
Um, yeah, I feel like I want to do that. I actually want to start, especially with this move. I don't
Hmm.
know if I'll do it this year because it's gonna be like quick, but I want to start doing a annual Friendsgiving type
Yeah.
situation where I
Hmm.
not only invite some of my friends and loved ones, but also invite
Hmm.
like my mentees who might not have
Yeah.
anywhere to go, and I
Hmm.
want to make it a an annual thing where I do this
Hmm.
for the people who chosen family,
Yeah.
until I have a real family.
Hmm.
Well, I would say a family by, what I mean, by
I know
a
what you
real
mean.
family. So yeah, I don't know yet though. Yeah, I would want those things, but also I don't know if those things are gonna happen for me.
Right.
So
Right. True. True.
so
True. I support that annual Friendsgiving thing.
yeah,
I do. I do. Because one thing about you, community oriented.
all for the girl, all for the community.
Look,
All of the
I'm
girls, the girls, the girls, and the girls. Okay.
uh-huh, uh-huh. Could you spell them out when you when you post
Yep.
it?
The girls, and the girls.
I'm gonna leave my questions right there right now because I want to
Okay.
just sit and ponder on the holiday spirit.
All right. So we are about to deck the halls real quick, and I'm about to refill my drink. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a break. We're gonna get a word from our sponsors over at Trade Apparel, and we will be back after this. You are listening to the Black Gay Agenda, and this is the Baggage Agenda.
All right, real quick before we get back to the conversation. Confidence starts with how you feel, and sometimes that's as simple as putting on a pair of underwear that actually makes you feel good. That's why we're rocking with Trade Apparel. Whether you're into classic boxer briefs, bold briefs, or jock straps that make a statement, Trade is all about helping you look good underneath it all. Treat yourself. Refresh that underwear drawer. You deserve it. Head over and shop Trade Apparel today, and don't forget to use promo code Black Gay Agenda to save 10% off your entire order. That's Black Gay Agenda for 10% off your entire order. Now let's get back to the show.
All right, so welcome back to the Black Agenda. This is the Baggage Agenda. It's me and AP here with you. Shout out to Dupree. Dupree's not here this week, but we love him down. Dupree will be here for the season finale, and obviously next week we will be releasing our episode that we did our last in studio episode. Not only that, y'all. Not only that, the very first Wednesday of September. Okay, the very first Wednesday of September, I'm releasing my interview over on another conversation with Micah B with an amazing, amazing, amazing artist who I discovered this year. His name is Houston
Mhm.
Kendrick, and just dropped the album, a new project. It's so good. So good. So just stay tuned for all of that. But we're gonna get back into this, okay? This has been a good conversation. Make sure that you all are liking, commenting, subscribing, and joining the conversation. We're gonna talk about the people who packed that bag first, okay? The people who packed that bag first. We kind of got into it earlier, but what's something that you learned growing up, right? That you've had to unlearn as an adult.
Child, I feel like I could plenty of motherfucking things. But the first thing that I will name is deciding to stay in the relationship for the sake of the children.
My God,
Um,
today.
I feel like I watched both of my parents, separately, in their relationships, not with each other, but after they had me and went their separate ways. Stay in a relationship for far too long because they got new kids with a new partner, X, Y, and Z. But I could always literally see that there was some unhappiness or
Mm.
y'all sleeping in separate rooms or y'all don't even speak. And I'm just sitting there like, okay, I got a new brother or sister, but like, what the fuck is going on? So
So you
I'm just
saw
kind of
that and
like,
noticed that you noticed that growing up.
I think not yes, I did notice it
Oh
growing up,
wow.
but it felt normal. Like people stay in it for the sake of the kids. They say that they even kind of still say that today as
Yeah,
we are
yeah, yeah,
adults. But when I started dating people, I feel like I've left for far greater or lesser things. And I'm like, well, maybe because I don't have kids either, but I still feel like you should always be putting yourself first.
yeah.
Because if you aren't whole, how can you really show up whole for your kid? And I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I got the short end of the stick because my parents were unhappy. Or they just were like, I hate this relationship, therefore I hate life. So like, hey kid, hey AP, I guess, go eat a popsicle and sit down. Like it just didn't feel like they were, present as much.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they were in shitty relationships. So I'm like, well, I
Mm-hmm.
won't be doing that. That's something that I
Yeah.
know I don't think I will be doing.
I'm sorry you had to deal with that though. That's a lot. That's a lot. I think what I've had to unlearn is when you grow up, and a lot of the stuff is like I don't think sometimes our parents even understand what they're doing, but we grew up in a house where it was you had to ask permission for everything. permission to
Mm-hmm.
drink juice, permission to get food, permission to do this, permission to do that. And then there was also um very there was not a lot of room for discussion about
Ooh,
anything, you
true.
know? There
Mm-hmm.
wasn't room for a discussion for anything. It was, why is this? Because I said so.
Ooh.
Why is this? Because I said so. Because I'm the parent and you're the child, right? And what happened to me as I grew up, and I started, whether it was me in the military,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether it was me in the restaurant industry, whether it was me in this space where I'm a leader, because I've been a leader since the military, right? I've
Mm-hmm.
always been identified as somebody who's a leader. Um, Early on in my leadership, I had to unlearn that because I'm in charge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been around longer than you, because I know and you don't
Mm-hmm.
know, right?
That's good.
And your subordinates, the people who look to you, you'll have a much healthier relationship with them when there's some collaboration. Now, of
Yeah.
course, there still needs to be that distinction of, well, we're not on the same level. Like,
Yeah.
you're here, we're not on the same level though, and that's okay. We don't do the same things. We're not on the same levels, but when you're providing correction, when you're telling them, I don't think that works, all of these things, there should be a why.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up, it was demonized
So
to
true.
ask the question why. So
Uh,
as I started growing up and becoming an adult and being put in leadership positions, it was like, I don't need to explain y'all why I said we fucking
mm-hmm.
recorded on Monday nights. The fuck? You give me like we
Uh,
recorded on Monday nights. I don't have to explain to you why I can't do Wednesday. But then when I
mm-hmm.
say the reason why we record on Mondays and not Wednesdays is because in order to go ahead and make sure that we can drop an episode on Friday and I can continue to fulfill my other obligations outside of
Mm-hmm.
this right here, I
Mm-hmm.
need that full like 3 days to to
Mm-hmm.
edit and all of those things. Explaining that to your people instead of just being like, don't ask me why. None y'all ain't the ones doing the work. That's not cool. So that's something that I've had to unlearn, is just, it takes nothing to explain why something is. It takes
Mm-hmm.
nothing. It takes nothing.
You really hit the what is the nail, the
The
head
nail,
nail
the
on
head
the,
on the head.
you know what I'm saying? Like, what is it?
I know what
You
you
use the
mean.
hammer to hit the
Yes.
nail on
The
the, because
head of the nail.
I'm sitting up here thinking, I'm like, oh, that's so true. You know what? You know what? Something else that I kind of had to unlearn, and maybe this is not even the right type of the question related to this,
Hmm.
but since we're on the topic, I know for my future family or something, I would like to discuss where we are financially,
Mm.
because yes, I felt impoverished growing
Okay.
up. However, I didn't necessarily know. I think I put a lot of pressure on my mom specifically
Yeah.
as a single parent, but like I didn't necessarily know like the financial restraints that we were in. Like even leading up to high school, it's just like, well, why the fuck we can't do this? I used to give my mom a lot of grief.
Hmm.
Um, just not being able to afford stuff, not being able to do stuff. But I kind of feel like because she wasn't necessarily being honest with like what type of financial situation are we in, and on the same hand, I feel like, oh, what happened, Mike? Oh, on the same hand, same with my dad. I recall because I live with my parents like on, you know how they send you back and forth different school
Hmm.
years or whatever. When I was leading up to my senior year before I went to college, I was like, "Hey, Dad, do we have any money for me to go to school?" That motherfucker cursed me out so bad. And he was like, "How dare you ask if we got money to send you to school? Fuck no. Like, do you know what type of situation we are in financially?" And to me, I'm like, well, no, I don't, because I'm not too sure how we're living. But I will also give my dad a lot of grief too, because I'd be like, I just didn't understand why we were in certain
Yeah.
situations. But like, this is like no one wanted to be honest with the kid and be like, well, bitch, we on food stamps, and then the rent is this,
Yeah.
and this is how much I make. It just wasn't honest conversation throughout the household.
Because they don't think that you're a person. I think the problem with a
Right,
lot of parents is parents don't think that their children are people.
right. Stay in a child's place.
And yeah, stay in a child's place. Don't ask why. Like all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you don't make good. adults when you raise
That's
children
what I'm saying.
raise children like that. And a lot of the people that y'all are out here that we find ourselves interacting with and dating, like, and there's no excuses because we all have to go to therapy eventually.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who haven't been to therapy, and there's things that they do that frustrates you, and they feel like they can disappear for 3 days and not articulate to you why they disappear for 3 days, and then their response is,
Hmm.
"I'm grown. I don't gotta
Right.
explain
Right.
myself to anybody." This is no shade, okay? This is no shade to our amazing, amazing producer Justin, and he used to say this, and I don't know his situation, so I'm not saying it. I'm not tying into it, but he used to say something where I don't owe anybody an explanation, right?
Well.
But sometimes we say those things because that's how we were taught. We were raised to not to we were told, I don't know you, no explanation. So then when we grow up, we think that's normal, and then we interact with the people, whether it's friends, people we work with, romantic interests, like, I don't owe you no explanation. But at the end of the day, you don't owe anybody one, but it's a decent thing to be like, hey, I know you don't understand, but this is what's going on, and this is why I can't do that.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm
Period.
with
This
you.
is why this is.
Hmm.
How difficult is it to recognize that something is unhealthy when
Hmm.
it's all you've ever known? So, for instance, right? Nope,
Hmm.
I'm not going to do that because then
Oh.
somebody will interpret it as me being fat phobic, and then no, I could do it. Maybe I could do it. I don't know. Listen, the pushers scare me. But like, if somebody has okay, people's relationship with food, right? If you is this going to be fat phobic?
I'm tuned in.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so like some people's relationship with food, right? If
Hmm.
you could just grow when you were growing up, and some people might not know that they may have an unhealthy relationship with food
Yeah.
because all they really knew growing up was I can eat whenever I want. I can eat whatever I want. Like I can wake up
Hmm.
for breakfast and eat, spare ribs, spare ribs and potato salad, right? And some people have those type of like whatever, right? We just eat, and it's not even a weight issue because you could be skinny and unhealthy. Hello,
Facts. Hmm.
right? If your relationship with food, and it's even sometimes it's not even a matter of you're big, you're overweight, all of these things. I'm using quotes, people. I'm using quotes. I'm using quotes if you can't see me. Sometimes it's you could be skinny, right? Sometimes it's a matter of if you lived in a food desert. Mhm,
Hmm.
all you eat is shit out the box, right? Deep fried pizza puff, deep fried fish, gyro sandwiches, Italian beefs, flaming hot chills with ground beef and cheese, and you're eating that for
Hmm.
breakfast first thing in the morning. So when you grow older, mhm, and people start talking about vegan lifestyle, when people start talking about just healthy eating salad, you know how many niggas don't eat salad and act
I
like
do
when
know.
you tell them like they be like salad, I don't eat salad because their relationship with food and those habits form is all they know.
Hmm.
So outside of the food aspect, I just wanted to kind of like paint that picture for the listener so they can start thinking what things in your life have been unhealthy that you didn't realize that it was unhealthy because this is just a part of your life.
Child, it's always gonna go back to the parents for me. It is fucked up. And I think, I think, I used to think, I'm trying to get my thoughts together.
Yeah.
Earlier in the show, I talked about how my dad was a functioning alcoholic.
Mm.
That felt normal to me. He went to work, he paid his bills, we were okay. You know what I'm saying? Nothing about that felt off.
Mm-hmm.
Except for perhaps, things as I got older, I'd be like, well, bitch, can you come to a school performance? I mean, can you meet a friend? Like there were just things that were missing.
Mm-hmm.
However, didn't necessarily associate the alcoholism or the alcohol abuse with those him not showing up as a full parent. So I used to think it was like okay for people to just be fucking getting drunk and going to work as long as the bills were paid. But then I recognized that, taking it back to what I said earlier, when you have an abusive relationship, whether that be with another partner or whether that be with alcohol, you aren't showing up as your whole self which then in
Mm.
turn you aren't showing up to be a whole parent. But for me, I used to be like, well, I guess that's normal. And then when I went to college, like I said, motherfuckers was showing up. Parents moved them in, like giving them, sending care packages home, like things that were not normal to me. And I would even take it a step further. I would say a lot of people in my own community. So people, my friends, their parents look almost similar to mine. Perhaps weren't alcoholics, but maybe they were like married to their jobs, so they weren't as active as a parent, or maybe they were fucking just neglectful. Like I didn't see a lot of great relationships with
Mm.
parents, and I don't want to say it felt like our fault or like just the way that the cards were dealt, but it felt just too normalized for me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this is unhealthy. Like as I got older, I was like, this is unhealthy. And now I have to work on the relationship with and I'm sure a lot of my friends are doing the same. We may not talk about it, but it's like, you address how your mom was just never active growing up in your life, even though she was
Yeah.
present. She was there, she was physically present, but she wasn't present. She wasn't present in
My
here or in
God.
here. And I'm like, damn, wow, So that's
Yeah.
something for me right there.
That's real, and I can definitely identify with that.
Hmm.
As far as being present,
Hmm.
but not being present.
Right. In the
That's
heart and
real.
mind. In the heart and
Yes,
mind.
that's real. I think for me, what was is unhealthy, right?
Hmm.
Um, and oof, the people are going to be mad about this. Okay,
Uh-oh.
the people
Drag
are going
his
to
ad.
be
No, I'm just kidding.
the people are going to be mad about this. Growing up as a PK, right? For
Hmm.
those of you who don't know, pastor kid, preacher kid, whatever. Both of my parents were preachers, but then especially after my mom passed, a lot of the stuff was it was less relationship with God
Hmm.
and more relationship with rules.
Oh.
And Christianity in our household was more of what you can't do versus having the liberty to do what you can do, right? It
Hmm.
was more of a list of rules. You can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that. And then growing up as an adult, the way that was taught, the way that that was pushed, it seemed like the things that I was doing was just normal, but it was unhealthy. So asking, and
Hmm.
then that also ties back to the whole permission thing, right?
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
remember that? Can I have some juice? Can I have this? Can I do this? Then that in turn, when you have a leader at your church that you're serving at, then you're asking them, "Hey, I want to go on this. I want to take a trip to Vegas. What do you think?"
Hmm.
You're asking permission to live,
Hmm.
right? You're asking permission to live. And the reason why you're asking permission to live because all of those other things that you've been taught as a child is, the different things that you've been taught, and then obviously walking through life where in that space when I was walking through life, it was also there's something wrong with me that needs to be fixed because I am gay. So all of these
Hmm.
things, and then you find somebody who's a mentor, right? A leader, and then it's like you're asking, hey, I want to do this. Can I get permission? Oh, who's all going? Oh, this, that, and this, that, and the third. And it just becomes a natural thing. It became a
Hmm.
natural thing to when I'm outside, right, with friends eating, and I get we're at a Mexican restaurant and I get a margarita. Before I took my picture, guess what I was doing? I was moving that drink
Hmm.
out the frame. And that became so normal, but it was unhealthy. And the reason why it was so normal, because that's how I was raised and that's how I grew up. Thankfully I've grown past that
Hmm.
and like I don't care anymore. But yeah, that was a real thing for a while.
When I hear people speaking of their journey with Christianity,
Yeah.
I'd be like, shout out to my atheist. No, I'm just playing. Not shout out to my atheists, but I just didn't have that experience. So I just be like, damn, they they poisoning y'all's mind. That's kind of what I think when I hear
Yeah.
people's journey and relationship with Christianity. It's always like
Yeah.
easily how you identified it or what you can't do versus what you
Yeah.
can do.
What you can
Uh,
do. Yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? I used to be like, you can't. I don't want to upset the Christians.
man, man,
They're everywhere.
they are. Uh, they'll be okay.
They
But that's
will.
all I really got for this section right here.
Okay. taking it back to relationships real quick.
Okay, let's go. The girls love
Do
when
you?
we talk about relationships, so let's
They
do
do.
it.
They do. Everybody's got an opinion. Do you think you have to be like totally healed before entering a relationship, and dare I say, even friendship?
No,
Right.
I don't think that you're ever going to be totally healed.
Exactly.
I think that healing is a journey.
Of
I
course.
think that life has a way of reminding you that you're not as healed as you think you are. I
True.
don't think that therapy has to be something that's necessarily ongoing. There could be a season that you might not need to go to therapy anymore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But also, the season's going to come back around that you need to get your ass back in therapy. Life changes, right? Different life changes, different life events will cause you to realize, oh, I guess I'm not healed, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that's just the way it is. I thought that I was, and I've had lots of growth over the years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I was at a certain place, and then I've always dealt with people pleasing and all of
Mm-hmm.
that shit, right? And that's ties back to my pops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I got to a place where I'm like, I don't fuck them people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then during this process of this transition, I've been disappointed by certain people how they've interacted and they've made this, in the words of Duran Bernard, they found the urge to make this about them.
Mm-hmm.
um, and that's what they did. They found it like they've made it about them, and then it was like even in that, like I was almost gonna like go out of my way to go all the way out to the west side of Chicago, right? To go meet up with somebody who wanted to see me because they wanted to see me before I left. But it's like, no, I am the one leaving. I have all these things. So if you want to see me,
Mm-hmm.
you need to like figure something out. Get your ass over here and see me. But then I started being like, oh shit, even with my dad, I've been trying to see this man since I got off his fall tour. I mean, spring tour, right? Because I know
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving, and he lives like a good hour away. And I was gonna get on the metro and go all the way at the train and go all the way out
Mm-hmm.
there. And I'm just trying to plan time for him, and he wouldn't tell me. He
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't tell me when he's available. And then like part of me felt like bad because of it. It's like, oh my god, I'm not gonna see him because of that. It's just, I don't know. It's a lot.
I get it. It is a
Yeah,
journey.
it's a journey. So yeah, I don't think healing is so then it made me realize, oof, there's a lot of I thought I was over this. I thought I was free from this, but there's a lot of shit that I'm still carrying. So let me do some more unpacking and figure out why is it that I feel the need to inconvenience myself for people who don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I I really liked how you talked about the seasons of therapy,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes you're good,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you're not. And dare I say, I think people are misconstrued about when it comes to a therapeutic journey. People, I believe, think that in order to go to therapy, you've got to be in all this turmoil. And I also believe that they think therapy is like, what is the word? Infinite. Like it doesn't end. Like once you start, you're going to be in it for so long, and that's just what you have to do. But I think a lot of people have a misunderstanding that you can go to therapy for like one particular issue. Your whole life does not have to be in a wreck to go to therapy. In addition to that, you don't have to be in it for the remainder of your life. You could be in it for 2 months while you work through a problem and say, peace out. Just
Mm-hmm.
recently, starting last month, my therapist was like, all right, girl, we don't need to meet bi weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think about the time where I was meeting weekly. Then I
Mm-hmm.
then I was bi-weekly. Now I'm like once a month. But now I'm honestly thinking, I'm like, you know what? I think I just may take a break for the rest of the year because we be twiddling our thumbs sometimes in the in the appointment because it's like,
Right.
well, I'm okay right now. Like I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily working through anything. So I do like when how you brought up like there's just different seasons and that's
Yeah.
part of healing. So
You could be
you
great. Yeah, you could be
Hmm.
great and then you could lose a job. And
Exactly,
now you
girl.
gotta you gotta work through that. You could be great and then a family member passes away, a good friend
Right.
passes away, and now you gotta navigate that. You can be great and then you could like have a monumental birthday, and then that birthday
Hmm.
brings up thoughts and feelings of like, oh my god,
Yep.
I'm 30 now and I haven't done XYZ. And then like so yeah,
Hmm.
it's I think it's a it's a lifelong journey.
I love this next question,
Uh-oh.
and it's kind of a mix. I'm like just throw like multiple questions in one. So
Okay.
so stay with me. See, y'all know how my
Okay.
brain works. See how y'all got on my ass about that football shit. But anyway, when does, and this is air quotes, this is just how I am because of what I've been through, become an excuse, whether that be a good excuse? Like when do you accept that in terms, or have you had to accept that in terms? And when have you been like, I'm not accepting that?
Okay.
Hmm.
As soon as I hate this is just who I am mofo, okay? I
Hmm.
hate it is who I am because it's like I know that I am it's like okay, you know that you're mean. But that's just who I am. You know that you're not emotionally regulated, but that's just who I
Oop.
am. It's how I've always been. You know that you're not a good communicator. It's just who I am. You know that you're selfish. It's just who I am. It's all I've ever been because this person did this to me and I'll never be hurt
Hmm.
again. Like, I am sorry. I'm sorry what happened to you. But we have to stop allowing what happened to us to affect what happens through us.
Hello.
And and a lot of times we allow the trauma that we face to really shape the trajectories of the rest of our lives. And we can't be loved properly because that's just who I am. We can't show up for our friends because that's just who I am. And who you are needs help.
Hmm.
Who you are needs healing. Who you are wants to be someone else, but you can't get to that point as long as you're in this tunnel vision of that's just who I am. And I feel like we give ourselves excuses. Like,
Hmm.
listen, bad shit happened to you, right?
Hmm.
I get it. I understand it. I've been through some really fucked up stuff throughout my life. But I got to a point where I had to say, you know what? I cannot keep hurting people because I was hurt.
Hmm.
I can't keep being emotionally unavailable because I was hurt and this is just who I am now because I
Hmm.
got to protect myself. No, it's not cool. Like eventually we have to say, yeah, some bad things happened to me throughout the course of my life, but I would rather heal from those things and live a life that's more free instead of being bound by the past and bound of being that's just who you are. So fuck that shit. Fix it.
All right. I'm hearing you say all of this.
Uh
Oh no, 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 no!
oh.
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement fully. I'm in agreement
Okay,
fully. But
okay.
before I make my not narrative, before I use my anecdote,
Hmm.
have you ever had to accept that, like when someone was like, "This is just who I am," and you were like, "Okay, now what do you do with that?" Has there been a time where
Uh,
they were like, "Fuck growing, this is who the fuck I am."
um, yeah. So when that's then you have to figure out what you need to do next for
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm in a place now. Remember, I talked about that. I think I have to go to a no contact for a season of life with my pops because even Saturday when I sent this message, and if he's listening to this, shout out to you. You should call me instead of being offended by what I talk about on the
Oof.
podcast.
True.
But I but I said, I finally was like basically I was just like, yo, look, I've been trying for a while now. I said it doesn't look like we're gonna be able to connect. It would have been great to see you. I even told him like about my promotion on my job. This was Saturday. He read
Mm-hmm.
the message. It's Monday that we're recording this. And guess what? Still no response. Not even a congratulations on your promotion, on this new gig and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat there and I said, you know what? That's just who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who he's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I can make the decision to either continue to be disappointed, continue to put myself in a position where I'm hurting myself because I'm
Yeah.
expecting something different from what's being shown,
Right.
or I can protect my own peace. I can protect my own emotions. I can protect my own feelings and leave him where he's at
Mm-hmm.
because that's just who he is. So I
Mm.
think so. Yes, that's happened to me. It's happening to me, and I'm in a place where if that's who they are, let them be who they are. But you don't have to be a part of it.
With that, keeping it on the daddy themes,
Okay, let's
I will
go,
say it's the same for my dad.
man.
And this was literally a year and a half in therapy, working on my
Whew.
dad shit. As I have mentioned, my dad is unfortunately a functioning alcoholic. Like he takes pride
Yeah.
in the functioning part. Believe me, he
Okay.
does. However, something that my dad used to always say to me, especially when I was in college, I was studying psychology. He'd be like, you can't psychoanalyze me. Dad will always be dad. And when I say my dad said this so often, I used to be like, well, what's he trying to say? What is he trying to get at? And years would go by. He would be like, dad is always going to be dad, i.e., I am always going to be me. And it took me
Mm,
until like maybe this year or late last year to recognize this person is literally throughout my life has been telling me he will not change. He is always going to be the same. And I need to adjust my expectations because
mm.
dad will always be dad. I'm not going to drink less. I'm not going to not be drunk at noon and you come over and then I'm passed out and the opportunity for us to bond has now been squandered due to alcohol.
Man.
Dad will always be dad. And it's just so crazy because to me, that's the excuse. Like, well, this is who I am because of what I've been through. My dad was an alcoholic and this, that, and the third. And it's like, damn, I think I'm finally going to have to accept that excuse of
Mm,
this is who you're going to be and this is who you will remain to be until your dying days, perhaps. And it's so hard because then, like you said, like,
yeah.
what am I going to do now? I'm like, all right, if I accept this as truth, what the fuck do I do? And I'm still figuring it out. Like we said, it's a healing journey. It's a
It
healing
is.
motherfucking journey.
It is, especially when it's your parents, man. And sorry that you dealt with
Hmm.
that. That's tough. I feel you. I don't
Hmm.
identify with the same thing, but
Hmm.
it's the same thing, right? Just different
Yeah.
different fonts.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
and yeah, it's just like but then it's like I think we have this unhealthy relationship. Child, it's so tough. I'm feeling it right here in the gut, but I'm trying
Hmm.
to push through.
Hmm.
But we have this healthy relationship as black people where we say things like, "Oh, that's your family. You only get one
Oh,
family."
yeah.
At the end of the day, that's still your dad. At the end of the day, that's still
Hmm.
your mom. At the end of the day, that's still your brother, your sister, filling the family member, right? But well, some of us do, but a lot of times when it's, what if, right? Here's a thought experiment.
Okay.
What if we handled our family members in the same way that we handle friends who disrespect us or betray us or hurt us, or like relations, like partners and or
Hmm.
people who recording or are courting us, whatever, right? Like we're quick to
Hmm.
cut them off. Oh, this nigga played in my face, I'm done, I'm over with them, right? Oh, she used to be my ex best friend, but she played in my face. But then we allow
Hmm.
family members to continue to cause trauma. We allow family
Hmm.
members to continue to cause hurt and pain
Hmm.
simply because that's your family and you only get one family. Family doesn't mean
Right.
blood. Family does not mean blood. Family is relationship. It's pouring into each other. It's showing up for one another. It's being there for one another. It's going through things together. Um,
Hmm.
and just because y'all share DNA doesn't mean that they have your best interest in mind. And you shouldn't allow those abusive behaviors and patterns to continue just because. Like, stop being connected to your abuser.
Okay.
We gotta break free. We gotta break free of our abusers. And sometimes abuse isn't abuse is physical, abuse is emotional, and abuse is mental as well.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Let's take a moment for that real quick. I mean, I'm here shaking my head in agreement with everything you just said. I feel like the listeners too. They took
Yeah.
that little moment and was like,
It's heavy.
yeah,
It's heavy,
because
man. It's heavy.
what the
Woosah.
fuck am I about to do?
Woosah, yeah.
um, Speaking of heavy, my
Okay.
final question.
My dick is heavy. I gotta lighten the load a little bit, y'all, because it's heavy today. I'm trying not to cry. So I had to, we're at the end of the day, we're still men, okay? So at the
Mm.
end of the day, a good dick joke, a good off color crash comment will always do the trick.
Can I get a gay man? A gay
Gay
man.
man.
Final question though. If
Okay.
someone had to carry everything you haven't dealt with, or
Mm.
even have dealt with, but not to the fullest extent, how heavy would your bag be? And they
I,
got to carry it now. How heavy are we
um,
talking?
I think they listen. If somebody it would be heavy. It would definitely be oversized luggage,
uh,
It's just a lot. I've dealt with a lot over my life, and I've dealt with a lot of it, and I'm dealing with a lot of it. But yeah, I wouldn't want nobody to just carry that by themselves and I don't expect anybody to carry that by themselves. Now, if you want to help me with my bags, I
mhm,
appreciate you, friend.
mhm.
I appreciate you, babe. But yeah, it would be heavy. How about you?
Yeah, dare I say, you will be paying that overweight fee. We'll be splitting that fucking cost.
Okay.
But I think for me is, and this may be a little bit of my own hyper independence as well that I'm working through, is I will like take the check bag, if you will, going back to our earlier icebreaker, and I will take some of the check bag and put it in a carry on and give that to
Yes.
my partner, and not be
Okay.
like, I understand that this big ass bag is for me to sort through, sift through, figure out what I'm gonna do with, get rid of some of the stuff so it can go back to a more manageable size. But since we in this together,
Come
you take
on.
this carry on and you carry it with me. You carry my load with me. I'm I'm going to be using the muscles for that 50-pound bag.
Okay.
But I want you to have that personal item and that carry on for me, please. So she'd be heavy though.
Ooh.
She'd be heavy. She'd be heavy.
Ooh, child, this is good. This is good. This has been good, man. Well, this is what episode 18. So I think it's time for
Gagged.
us. I think it's time for us to go to carousel 18, and that carousel 18 is the agenda moving forward. All right, that the carousel 18 is
Uh-huh.
the agenda moving forward. And you want to take that? You want to take that?
Yeah.
Okay.
'Cause you know what? I was just talking about taking shit out the bag.
Yeah.
What's something you finally taken out of your bag?
Mm. Well, it's
And
been a
let's say for good too. Let's say
for
for
good.
good. Hmm.
So, what I've taken out of my bag for good is the weight that I have carried for so many years of my life of my father's approval,
Hmm.
my father's love.
Hmm.
Um, I think he has love for me.
Right.
Um, but I think he also doesn't know how to love unconditionally.
Hmm.
Um, and that's something that has affected me. It affected my relation to my work, right? Because I was doing a lot of things not necessarily for me and the things that I wanted to do, but it was more so I'm going to prove him wrong, and I'm going to show him because I want to be super successful, and I'm going to show him. And then when I started doing things and being brought getting opportunities that I was wildly excited about, and I would share them, and he paid him dust, then it was like,
Hmm.
oh, this isn't enough, so I'm gonna work even harder.
Hmm.
I'm gonna work, I'm just gonna work myself into the ground. And then
Hmm.
it became less about I'm working because it's something that I want to do, and working so I can prove him wrong.
Damn.
And I'm finally in the space, and like I don't know if it was when I turned 40. I don't know if it was this move. I don't know if
Hmm.
it was me being in these spaces and being recognized and celebrated and seen by others. And it was like, okay, I might not get this approval and validation from over here, but my community, they fuck with me. My community approves me, and my community validates me. when I get it when I got a message from a 22-year-old pusher, and he was like, "Yo, thank you for this episode. I really just talked to my parents and came out, and now
Hmm.
they were like, we were just waiting for you, and we had
Hmm.
like open, honest, transparent dialogue, like those type of things. That's the validation."
Hmm.
Sometimes we seek validation from places that we'll never get them from, and then
Yeah.
we overlook the places that we're actually getting
Hmm.
them from.
Okay.
Y'all be on the internet all day talking about your haters, 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 your haters. But what about your lovers? What about the
Hmm.
people who actually love you? The people who show up for you, the people who pour into you, the people who are in your corner, the people who are rooting for you. They're there. So yeah, that's something that I know I'm not walking into this next season of life with. I gotta put me first, Lucius. I gotta put me first.
You better unpack. I know that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I know that's right. And speaking of,
Mm-hmm.
actually, this has nothing to do with that, but maybe there is a through line here. Maybe there is. I
Okay.
think for myself, something that I finally taken out of my bag was tying my worth to accomplishments or
Mm.
opportunities or career, new job, new this, or things that don't serve, my heart and my mind and my spirit. I think for a long time, I just kept looking for, like, all right, what's next? What's next? Like, how am I truly living? Or, what compared to the other people, comparing yourself and then tying your worth, not necessarily to the comparison, but like running your own race and still feeling like it's not enough.
My
And
God.
thank God I unpacked that because I realized I was running myself ragged, and I also
Mm.
think that, created a lot of anxiety within me. Um, but as I've said on the podcast before, I think within this last 2 years, I've been living for my inner child. Like, well, just what the fuck do I feel like doing?
Yeah.
Am I going to join this band? I'm a host of open mic. All of these things came from
Yeah.
me removing myself from, like, you know how to say remove yourself from the outcome, but just enjoy the ride. I
Mm.
think that's what I've been doing, and I love it. I love it, and it feels good to take it out the fucking bag because
Come on.
now I feel like I could be one of those people that would be like, "What's next? I'm gonna pack a bag and just go to the airport." You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
That is the life that I'm looking to live versus trying to plan out. And then on the excursion I would be doing this, and then by
Mm-hmm.
35 I would be doing. Like, fuck all of that. I want to be spontaneous about the life that I live, and I finally feel free and available to do that. So yeah.
That was good. So before that was good. That was the agenda moving forward.
Hmm.
Before we do, this isn't on the script, right?
Okay.
This isn't in the note. It's not in the notes, but we're gonna ask it anyway. We're gonna ask it anyways. Um, we talk about all of the things that we're taking out of our bags and the baggage that we
Hmm.
leave to, the baggage that we need to leave somewhere, right? And unpack. But what are you in this next season, right? For the rest of the year,
Yes.
what are you putting in your bag? What is the one thing that you're like, I cannot leave home without this? Now, in the natural, for some of y'all, that's y'all's like your little your little bulb, right? Because y'all your
Kind of
little
bold.
the bulb, the bulb that cleans the pussy out. For some of y'all can't
Yes.
leave.
Okay.
Y'all gotta pack that bulb so you could have some so you could be hot, fresh, and ready when y'all get to these
Hmm.
cities. For some people, it's your workout clothes, right? Because when you're on vacation, you gotta still make sure that you work out. For some of y'all, it's your tripod so you can get your content, whatever, whatever,
Hmm.
whatever. That's in the natural. But for real, in life, what are you bringing? What is your must pack item for the next season of your life?
Oof. I feel like it still relates to what I just said.
Okay.
I want to be in the moment. I
Mm.
want to fucking live. I granted, if a schedule happens for me in the future based on whatever opportunity, but I want to have found that opportunity living.
Yeah.
I don't want to limit
Yeah.
myself. I want to pack, and I guess this may be in a weird way. I don't want to pack anything.
Mm.
I'm 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 embracing whatever comes.
You said you're just gonna hop on the plane and buy clothes when you get there.
Exactly.
I know that's right. I love
Exactly.
that. I love
How
that.
about you?
I am packing peace.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm packing peace. Um, life's too short to be
Yeah.
stressed out.
Hmm.
Control the things that you can control. Everything else, it is what it is, right? It is it is what it is. And like I
Hmm.
used to think that was like a crazy way to think about things, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Um, que sera sera. What
Hmm.
will be. Okay? Okay. Que
C'est la
sera
vie.
sera. All of that. But all right, y'all. This has been good, man. Woo! I am probably gonna go and leave this podcast tonight, and I'm probably gonna like boo. You know, I've been doing that lately. I just be crying. I've been so overly emotional during this
Mm.
transition, and
To
usually I like
release.
suppress things, and like I
Hmm.
just now like I just cry, and then I feel better, and then I go about my
Hmm.
day. Sometimes it's like let me cry, and then I goon. So
Oh my
release.
God.
You got to release both ways. Okay.
You do. You
Speaking
do.
of release, y'all. Speaking of release, we have two more episodes to release for y'all. Okay, next week we'll be dropping the After Dark Agenda 2. It is our last episode that we did in studio at the beginning of the season. Myself, Dupree, AP, and Alex. And then you have the episode 20 on September 11th, and that is called the Unfinished Business Agenda. During the Unfinished Business Agenda, we will be looking back at some of our hottest takes, our funniest moments, some of you, the pushers. We are going to be reading some of the pushers'
Yes.
comments and reacting to some of the pushers' comments because y'all have said some crazy ass things to us, and then y'all have said some really special things to us, and
Hmm.
we will be just reflecting on the whole season. So that is going to be the Unfinished Business Agenda. So we got two more. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to our producer Justin B. Smith, who will be back next season as a full-time co-host. We're excited for that. Shout out to Dupree. He will be back for the season finale and technically next week because it's already been recorded. Shout out to you, the pushers. Shout out to you, the pushers, for rocking with us. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and also go ahead and donate to the 40 for 40 campaign. Just give $4. Give
Hmm.
$14. If you can do 40, do 40. If you can do 400, shoot, I might actually pop that thing a little bit, okay?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. AP, tell the people where can they find you.
Y'all know where to find me on Instagram. Where is Alex Pin and PIN? DC, y'all out here. I saw some people who are friends and fans of the show out and
Really?
about. Yes. And they were like, how's the podcast going? And I'm like, oh, you know, great. So
We
I
love it.
yeah, tap in DC.
We love it. Where could you find me? You can find your boy in the ATL, baby. I'm in ATL, baby. I'm in
You really will
ATL,
be.
baby. Yeah, I will be in ATL. Well, not by the time they listen to this,
Mm-hmm.
but the next episode. But
Mm-hmm.
no, follow me on Instagram. It's Micah B. Well, all platforms. It's Micah B. And I got a lot of stuff coming out. YouTube channel coming out, y'all. That's separate from this, and it's not gonna be. I'm not. It's just gonna be life. Me living life. One thing that a friend told me recently is like, yo, you are like really dope. And like people on the internet, for the most part, they don't see like all of that. They just see like you be on your business, you be on your grind, you got these businesses, you got all of this shit, but like you don't peel the curtain back. And so we're gonna peel the curtain back a little bit. I'm excited for that. Make sure that you follow Black Gay Agenda, the Black Gay Agenda on all platforms. AC with
Mm-hmm.
Micah B. Listen, just go in the notes, y'all. If you're listening and watching this, just go in the notes and you will find that. Okay. Listen, we about to be out of here. I love y'all. We love y'all. Don't
Yes.
forget, grab your purses, clutch your pearls. This has been the Black Gay Agenda. Peace.